Hello, my name is Oscar. I study at the Pan American University of Puerto in the Faculty of Education and Humanities School of Modern Languages. In today's video, I will give a brief explanation and overview of a very interesting form of speech known as anaphora. So, by definition, anaphora is a repetition of a word or phrase at the beginning of successive clauses or sentences. It helps writers and speakers build momentum, stir up emotion, and drive home a particular idea or emotion. So, anaphora is used in different mediums, from poetry to cinema. So I brought a few examples that we can read and identify the anaphora and try to see what the writer or poet was using it for. So first, let's begin with poetry with William Blake. So in this case, in London, William Blake uses anaphora to evoke the suffering he saw in his city in the following poem. In every cry of every man, in every infant's cry of fear, in every voice, in every band, the mind-forged manacles I hear. Let's go over it one more time. In every cry of every man, in every infant's cry of fear, in every voice, in every band, the mind-forged manacles I hear. So we can easily see that the words that are being repeated over and over again are in every cry, in every infant's cry, in every voice. So in this case, it's clear that the idea is to drive home the emotion of the suffering in the city, in every cry of every man, in every infant's cry. So let's look at another example then. In this case, from literature, from A Farewell to Arms, from Ernest Hemingway, where he writes, I was always embarrassed by the words sacred, glorious, and sacrifice, and the expression in vain. I had seen nothing sacred, and the things that were glorious had no glory, and the sacrifices were like stockyards at Chicago, if nothing was done with the meat except to bury it. Abstract words such as glory, honor, courage, or hallow were obscene besides the concrete names of villages, the number of roads, the names of rivers, the numbers of regiments, and the dates. So that was a bit of a longer extract, and as you can see, the first part were building up to the use of the anaphora in the final paragraph, where we can identify it. Since there is only one word that is repeating constantly the particle the concrete name of villages, the number of roads, the names of rivers, the numbers of regiments, and the dates. All right, so that was a great example, but actually, one of my favorite examples of anaphora used in real life comes from the famous speech from Winston Churchill during World War II, where he said, we shall fight on the beaches. We shall fight on the landing grounds. We shall fight in the fields and in the streets. We shall fight in the hills. We shall never surrender. So clearly, the anaphora here is in the words we shall, and it's a very powerful statement and a way to convey that emotion and that intent to resist, to not give in, to not give up, even when the situation was dire. This is how Winston Churchill decided to write his speech using this particular form of speech, the Anaphora. I will go it one final time. We shall fight on the beaches. We shall fight on the landing grounds. We shall fight in the fields and in the streets. We shall fight in the hills. We shall never surrender. This speech inspired unity and courage in a time of crisis, using the Anaphora. And on a more lighthearted note, there is a quote in the popular film Independence Day from 1996, where the character of President Whitmore declares a somewhat similar speech during the movie. And it goes like this: We will not go quietly into the night. We will not vanish without a fight. We are going to live on. We are going to survive. Today we celebrate our Independence Day. So, clearly the anaphora comes in the words we will. We will not go quietly. We will not vanish. We're going to survive. I will go over it one more time. We will not go quietly into the night. We will not vanish without a fight. We're going to live on. We're going to survive. Today we celebrate our Independence Day. So, as we can see, anaphora, the repetition of certain words, create mainly rhythm, and this rhythm can be used to build up emotion, to muster courage. For example, if it's being used on a speech, just like in Independence Day or with Winston Churchill. Or it can also be a way to express suffering, like we saw with William Blake at the beginning of the video. So that is why anaphoras have a certain versatility in their use, and we can see them in very different mediums, from poetry to literature to political speech and finally cinema. And it's important to know, because this is how language can make a difference in our day-to-day lives. That'll be all for today's video. Thank you, and see you on the next one.